Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Isiuwe. If it's your first time here, please subscribe and join the family. Let's be honest, a lot of people have this notion, this, if I call it a stigma, about the new year and about how it's just another year and there's nothing special about it. But I honestly believe that if you're watching this video, you're one of the smartest people on the planet because you are taking time out of, the new year to actually start something and be intentional about your growth in the new year. Even though people look at New Year, New Me as a fast, I think that it is also an opportunity to reinvent yourself. I feel like it's never too late to want to start something. In this video, I'm going to be sharing 20 habits that will help me elevate and level up in my 2025. I always do this every year. I always have a master plan on how I'm going to reinvent myself and change myself and boss up. So let's get started. The first thing that I want to do, and I feel like a lot of people talk about this, but I think it's really important, is to really limit my screen time. And one of the ways I'm going to be doing that is that I'm going to, when I wake up in the morning, I'm not going to pick up my phone. If you think about it, your screen time really holds you back. If you look at how long you spent on your phone and your screens last year, you realize that you could have accomplished a lot more things by actually just using your brain and doing things specifically designed to elevate you, instead of just being on your phone, arguing with people on Twitter, jumping on trends, like all of those unnecessary shit. So limit your screen time. That's one of the things that I'm going to do in 2025. The second thing I'm going to be doing, which I feel like I already started it in 2024 and previous years, is I'm going to be drinking a lot more water. I used to be one of the people that would eat a whole meal and not drink water, and not take any liquid at all. And I want to stop that because I feel like prioritizing your health in 2025, in fact, as the time goes on, is very important. You want to make sure that you are healthy. You want to make sure that everything that you are doing is good for your body. You are not a child anymore. And even if you are a child, you can start taking care of yourself and start eating healthy. And one of the ways to do that is actually by drinking a lot of water. Next is I'm going to be exercising at least twice a week. I know that twice a week seems like really small when you think about it, but one of the things that I do when I want to start a goal is by starting small and then increasing it. It's just like when you're actually even in the gym and then you have several sets to go through. You can start with 2 sets and then repeat it and then have different reps and sets to go through. Even if I would like to increase the amount of times that I exercise and be active, I think that starting with twice a week is not a bad idea. And if I can stick to that regularly, at least for 2 months, I know that I'm on track to becoming a better person in 2025. The next thing I'm going to be doing is taking walks. I am very introverted and it has also to even do with interacting with people. I actually do not like going out. Anything that would take me outside of my house is death to me. I actually cannot wait for the zombie apocalypse because I'm very happy to stay inside my own house 24/7. I'm very happy, but this year I understand that part of choosing healthy lifestyles is actually taking walks and allowing yourself breathe new air. That's not the air that's been inside your house for the past how many. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that that's so healthy and that's so important. The next thing I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be journaling. I always said I would do this every year and I never really do it. But what I'm going to do is that I used to burden myself with writing a journal entry. But I feel like that's too burdensome. Yeah, and sometimes you just don't want to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write in one thing that I'm grateful for every day. I'm just going to sit down at the end of my day and put it in my notes app that, oh Ella, you did this today, or this happened today. Just one thing, one sentence. It's not going to be a whole article. You understand what I'm saying? Another thing I'm going to be doing to increase my positive mindset and to limit my negative self-talk, because sometimes what I say can be very self-limiting, is that I'm going to be doing daily affirmations and not creating a list of affirmations oh yeah, this year, just 1 or 2 things that I'll be saying repeatedly every day, almost like a mantra, oh Ella, you can do this, Ella, you can do this, and just feeding that thing into my own brain. I know it's going to help me. What you tell yourself is what you eventually see. What you think eventually becomes your reality, and that's what I want to start doing in 2025. Another thing I'm going to be doing this year is that I'm going to be setting at least 2 priorities to do every day, 2 things that I know that I'm going to tick off my list every day. And it doesn't have to be huge things. It can just be Manuela, today you're going to take 1 liter of water, because there's this dopamine effect that taking things off list gives you. So if I say oh Manuela, I'm going to take walks today, or I'm going to take my vitamins today, or I'm going to do 5 press-ups today, just every day at the start of my day, I'm going to itemize things that I'm going to do, just 2 things or just 3 things that I'm going to be like, oh, this is priority. I must do this thing. I must set a meeting with this life coach. I must do it. Like, I'll itemize things that I'm going to do every day, and I'll make sure that I do it. The next thing I'm going to be doing is also going to kind of relate to screen time. That's become normal now that when you're about to sleep, you pick up your phone and you scroll mindlessly on TikTok 1 million times, and then you now fall asleep. No, I'm not going to be doing that this year. I'm going to be reading a book instead. My next habit for next year is to smile and greet people warmly. You know how I mentioned that I'm very introverted, and so part of being an introvert is obviously hating social interactions. But me, I believe that social interaction is one of the ways that we fix humanity. And I actually like it when people speak to me when I'm outside, even strangers, and they just come up to me and they compliment me and they smile at me. I love it. So me, I want to reciprocate that energy, and I want to invite that kind of positive energy into my life. So that's what I'm going to be doing from next year. I'm going to be smiling more. I'm like, oh my God, hi, how are you today? Oh, it's a lovely day. That's what I'm going to be doing next year. This next one is going to be very hard for me because I'm a very Virgo, so I'm organized in my brain, but I'm very disorganized physically, if you understand what I mean. So what I'm going to be doing next is I'm going to be trying to be tidying up more. My husband complains every time. If I do my makeup, oh my God, if you go to the bathroom sink, there's brushes everywhere, there's hair from my weave, there's powder, there's everything everywhere. So what I'm going to be doing, and I've actually already started, is by tidying up immediately after I finish doing something. Like, I want to be able to put things back where they are, just to be organized, because I feel like being organized, like physically, like in your surroundings, also helps your brain. Like, I don't want to be I use glasses. I don't want to be somebody that doesn't know where my glasses, like I never know where my glasses are. Sometimes it can be on my head and I won't know where my glasses are. So I want to stop that nonsense. I want to be able to tidy up my personal space more in 2025. Okay, this one I already do. This next goal I already do. I cook more than eat out now. And I feel like when you decide to be more financially wise, that's one of the things that you start doing. That's one of the things that you cut out, eating out, because the amount of money that you spend on don't get me started. So I feel like I already started doing that, but I'll be doing it more, and I may be incorporating more healthy meals, because part of the cuisine, because I'm Nigerian, part of the cuisine that we have not really healthy. It's very, very high fat, very high cholesterol, very high carbs. So I'm going to be reducing some of that, and just making sure that I have a balanced diet every time. So yeah. This next one, something that I don't condone. I hate gossip. Like I don't gossip, except it's with my partner. The way I hate it so much is that if you tell me something about what somebody did to you, like how somebody wronged you, I've forgotten. I swear to God, the next time you bring it up with me, I don't know what you're talking about. I forget. So I'm next, a habit that you should incorporate in your 2025 is to stop gossip and negative talk. So one more thing I want to do is that I want to practice meditating. I've never really gotten the hang of it. What I do is visualization, and I think that I will incorporate both of them together. Before I go to bed, sometimes I just paint a scenario in my mind, like my future self, and I'm like, wow, like I imagine myself, my future self every time. So that's what I'm going to be doing, meditating and visualization. Ooh, this one I already started doing, listening to motivational podcasts and motivational content in general. YouTube videos where motivational talk is the center, like is the subject, is what I've started gravitating towards. I have such inspiring YouTubers that I focus on that teach me important things and are really changing my mindset. I was talking to my friends recently and I was telling them about how I now have like such a good outlook on life and a positive mindset, and it's all because of the kind of content that I surround myself with, because I listen to those kind of inspiring words. Those kind of people will actually change your life, and you should try to do that also. One more thing is that I create a reminder to check the list of goals I have created for the year. I do that like every weekend, because sometimes you can lose sight of your goals. So I set a reminder to remind me of those things, like, Manuela, what are you doing to achieve your goals in 2025? Or so at the beginning of the year, I set it and I do it without fail every year. One more thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be reflecting on my accomplishments weekly. So that practice will actually bolster me to look forward to the next week and look forward to the next things that I can do well and do better next week. Because when I'm thinking that, oh, okay, this week I actually worked out 7 times, or this week, oh, I actually had like the majority of my diets were vegetables and grains, or this week I actually did my makeup so well. Like if I list out those are accomplishments to me, by the way. If I list out those accomplishments every week, I'll be looking forward to next week, and I'll already be feeling a sense of achievement even in the first week of January, because it can be very, very helpful for your psyche. And I think that you should do that too. Another thing that I do is that I'm going to practice saying no to things that don't align with my goals. Like me, I don't have a problem with saying no. Like my friends know me, everybody that knows me know me. I do not say yes to things that I don't want. Like I don't really care about you saying that that girl, she's such a wicked person. Like I actually don't care about your perception of me. If something does not align with me, if I don't like that thing, I'm going to say no to it. I'm going to be like, oh, and like, are you get no, I cannot. I don't think it's a good time for me. Like I'm very, very straight up with that one. And I think that it cuts out a lot of shit in your life, because a lot of people say yes to things just to be people pleasers. They don't like that thing that is happening. They don't like the circumstance, but they're just saying yes to it. So, and it builds resentment. Sometimes it creates problems. Sometimes it creates fights with like the person. So instead of having all those back and forths, just say no there and then, and just cut the shit. Another thing I want to start doing is going to bed at the same time every night. Every night by 9 p.m. Every night by 10 p.m. I want to be in bed. I want to be on my bed, closing my eyes and sleeping. Last but not the least is that I'm going to be replacing negative self-talk with like kinder words. So sometimes, and I'm sure you probably do this thing when you do something very silly, you're like, oh my god, I'm so stupid. None of that this year. Like I'm going to stop that. I know that we mean it as a joke, like we don't mean that, oh, we're very stupid, but the brain does not recognize the difference. So instead of saying, god, you're so stupid, Ella, you're so stupid, you're like, Ella, you have such an interesting brain. Always correct it. And I feel like that is what we should do. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I hope you have the best 2025 ever. So these are my own little habits that I'm going to be incorporating this year, and I invite you to join me as well. So if you like this video, I have other videos that will help you shape your 2025 to be the best year ever. And then you can watch it, and I put it on the screen and you can watch it and just create the life of your dreams in 2025 and going forward. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.